Good evening, Pretend Sports fans. This is the new PSBN bouncing off satellite PSBN 1. And that is satellite radio, baby. It's me, Sike Manders, and with me, as always, is Maul Padiros. Maul, how does it feel to be floating in space?
I've never felt so weightless, let me tell you. It is a brand new football season, and my goodness, have the pretend gods given us a bounty, a bevy of exciting matchups this first week.
Absolutely. We've talked, at the inaugural Rumble about just the thirst of these teams, and that sort of bloodlust is what led us to Emlon Usk. Again, we want to thank him for launching PSB1 to orbit our pretend planet.
Yeah, I mean, he's certainly the one of the richest, smartest, and most handsome men on earth. He certainly helped us, and now with his technology, he is bringing us through outer space and into your ear holes. I just can't wait.
That is absolutely right. I just imagine all the cars just driving around, listening to PSBN. It's absolutely exciting. No longer constrained by our AM roots. But
well, Old Smoky Butte was a beautiful place to broadcast from,
no doubt.
But nothing is quite like outer space.
That is absolutely true. And speaking of outer space, boy, some stellar games this particular week. Maul, how about you start us off?
Well, Maul's matchup this week is going to be a doozy. Pretend football is a game of decisions and delight. 1 minute you're riding high, the very next you're suffering from the worst bout of Fed imaginable. Case in point, Coach Andrew was fully lubed up and ready with his funky butt lovin', prepared to punish his longtime pretend powerhouse Marion and her vagina flowers. He was supremely confident, telling our NFL insider, Gage Laser, that he guaranteed victory due to the combination of having the golden right arm of Patrick Mahomes, and that Coach Marion left the draft room without a kicker or defense. Things were certainly promising when Leonard Fournette amassed 5 receptions and 59 total yards to spot him a cool 8 points, and kicker Ryan Suckup added 7 more. Surely, Big Pat and the remainder of his gaggle of butt stuffers would be able to ram it home. Mahomes did his part, 36 huge points to lead all scorers, but those vagina flowers were pesky and persistent. Kyler Murray assaulted the butt boys for 36 points as well, and 4 other flowers, Chase Edmonds, Dallas Goedert, Brandon Cooks, and Deontay Johnson, each outscored every other butt-loving star out there on the field. Marion's flowers pollinated ponderously upon poor Andrew, and despite the commission's best attempts to snip her, warding her efforts to add a kicker and defense prior to kickoff. But honestly, who needs them anyway? To get off week 1 with a win, scoring as few points as Marion and the Vagina Flowers did, has got to feel good. She had the 12th fewest points scored, but she still gets the win no matter what.
Absolutely. Very, very interesting game, I will say. It actually leads very nicely into my Psych Scalpel this particular week.
Oh, I'm literally riveted.
Well, that's because there is nowhere to run to in space, Maul. Now,
no one can hear you scream.
No one can. However, let's move on, shall we? Psych Scalpel. I'm going to set the scene for you. This was the South Charlottesville Gravy Legs at Team Giggity Giggity, once again in Old Quahog Memorial Stadium. A lot of things happened during this particular game. Obviously, the South Charlottesville Gravy Legs came in as the heavy favorites. They were charged up, and they took the field looking to put the hurt on Team Giggity Giggity. Now, it is true that at some point during the game, yes, Saquon Barkley's knee did implode. We did not get the raw footage of it to be analyzed by Dr. Fung. However, for such injuries in the future, that will most certainly be on the task. So, in any event, South Charlottesville, led by titanic efforts from Jarvis Slimy Hands Landry, putting up 16 points, Denver's dirty boy defense with 16 points, and Darrell Henderson Jr., that's J.R., 15.6 points. However, Giggity was not to be outdone. Coach Shooter found the grit deep inside all of that clam chowder that he most likely ate right before the game. His team was led by Debo. That is literally my name, Samuel, who put up a titanic 27 points and was aided by the efforts of Dalvin, out of the way and let me cook, for 17 points, and Miles, so close to Michael Sanders, for 15 points. This was a tale, however, about disappointing quarterback showings. The quarterbacks in this game came so razor close to utter failure that it really just leveled the playing field and allowed Team Giggity to clench that perfect win. There is, of course, the matter to talk about Aaron Rodgers and his hair choices. A lot of people were confused. I heard that a lot of the people just in Quahog walked out when he took his helmet off and revealed his hideous, god-awful face. Do you have anything to add to that, Maul? Or?
I mean, listen, Aaron Rodgers, if he wants to look like a homeless clown, that's his own prerogative, okay? But I know for a fact that man spends good money on grooming. And if that is the hairstyle that you came out with, then, God bless him. God save him.
I think I would have to agree with your latter statement there, Maul. Right in Smoky Butte, as we well know, and I'm sure Aaron Rodgers knows, that it is the epicenter of Dr. Fung's not gay, very manly hair salon, and that comes with a 100% guarantee of not gayness. There is at least 50% less turgid staring and 100% less soft focus camera zoom ins on male employees' lips. That is a guarantee that you could stand by.
Yeah, and I know that Dr. Fung, that hair cuttery, that palace, that shrine to hairstyling is certainly one of the best places on earth. I mean, I personally can't even afford to touch the door handles there. Dr. Fung is a man with his fingers in many pies, and I'm certain we'll hear more about him as this season rolls on.
Absolutely. If anyone out there does need a haircut and you want to make sure that your sexuality is not threatened, Dr. Fung's is the place for you. By the way, that was an ad spot for Dr. Fung's, full disclosure.
Well, of course, this entire podcast is sponsored by Dr. Fung in one shape or another. But looking at week number 2, we've got some really heady matchups, but only one that involves 2 1-0 teams. We've got the Rainbow Unicorn Death Squad and the Miami Uremis, both 1-0, both meeting each other. Coach Ramona Swanson, a champion of this league, my personal pick to win the NJCFFL, going against her hated rival, Mike Cooter's daughter, Catherine, and her Uremis, who stole victory in the first matchup and look to do more upsets as the season rolls along.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a tale as old as time, a song as old as rhyme. The veteran versus the upstart newcomer. In their showing, the Uremis did look incredibly strong. That's got enough to give any team a little bit of hesitation.
Yeah, no, well, that's the truth. But I don't think that there's one thing that I know about Coach Ramona is that she does not take anyone lightly. She knows what it takes to win this entire thing, and she's going to come out horn blazing to do some work. On the flip side, can we talk about how the Cooter Institute Beavers are only projected to score 105 points next week? Are they even fielding him?
Just,
is it even happening?
that is a truly miserable low. A new low for the Cooter Institute Beavers. I don't think they've recovered from the Rumble and Pegleg Greg's awfully disappointing performance.
Yeah, Pegleg walked in and walked out almost instantaneously. But maybe maybe he has more faith than we give him credit. I think maybe he'll see some of these other players. Maybe he has some free agent moves or trades happening in the background. But he's the biggest underdog this week, and I think he's going to fall pretty heavily to the Cumberland Crew.
That is true. The Cumberland Crew they did win very convincingly. Their first outing here at the NJCFFL. I'm wondering about the South Sharpsville Gravy Legs and the Luck Sacks. They've each dropped a game apiece. Is this the season to see South Sharpsville slide down that filthy, poop-stained ramp into Loserville?
Yeah, it's certainly possible. Or, on the flip side, can they belly slide like a disgusting poop-laden penguin up the ramp and finally claim a championship? It's a wide open season. I'm really excited to see what week number 2 brings. Of course, we have the Tombstones playing the Heartbreak. Giggity Giggity playing Funky Butt Lovin' after their smashing in the first week. Knights of the Kings of Limbs, they play You're Still on Mute. That looks like it's slated to be the closest game of the next week's
It does
spread.
have the potential to turn into a barn burner, I will say that.
Yeah, the very high scoring and very close, 141.7 to 140.8. So, that is a very narrow pick'em game right now for the for those two teams. And, of course, the 51ers, coming off their heartbreaking loss to the Uramies, they play the Vagina Flowers, who are looking to, now with a full roster, looking to hold off yet another comer.
Yes, I am absolutely certain that the 51ers were salivating at the thought of just going at the Vagina Flowers with no defense and no kicker. Unfortunately, that is not the case for them. That might turn out to be the keys to victory there in that game.
Yeah, that's all we can do. I'm excited to see where it happens. These guys are ramped up. Obviously, these pretend pugilists, they hate one another. As we saw in the Rumble, they sent their men out there with jobs to maim and smash and kill.
Sure,
it seems that everyone got back onto the back without the COVID, even though COVID ran roughshod on everybody. But we're looking to see where this goes from here. But week number 2 is going to be very, very exciting.
Absolutely. Well, as always, fans, keep it turned here to PSBN 1 Satellite Radio, where we will be covering week 2 of the NJCFFL only here at the Pretend Sports Broadcasting Network. So, from us to you, this has been Pretend Football Now.